What's up, guys? Daniel here, Woodland Acres. Been a little behind on these videos. Had a lot going on lately. Wanted to film something real quick though. I'm working from home today. Quick update on the dog situation. So in my last video I talked about, or it was posted about how the dogs had gotten out, almost got hit by a car. That video or that incident really scared us. Not that it was surprising, because that's what we wanted to avoid the whole time in keeping the dogs in our property, was to prevent any sort of accident like them getting hit by a car or a train. So since then we've made some adjustments to how we're keeping them in our property. They do still have the collars on them. The retraining process didn't work, unfortunately. I don't know if it's because it's spring season and it's coyote season, but we've had a whole lot more coyote action recently. A lot of holler and hooting with the coyotes. And like I said, I don't know if it's because it's season, but it's really been tempting for the dogs. And the collar and the retraining has just not worked for them. They've just blatantly disregarded the boundaries right in front of me. Evening hours, they'll see the coyotes, they hear them, and they're off. Even with the shock turned back on, it's just not enough to keep them anymore. They've realized it's nothing more than a mental barrier. The shock is, or the training of the collar is nothing more than a mental barrier. Once they know they cross that boundary, that's it. They're off, and that there's no concern or discomfort with the collar. So as a result, they are now being contained in this area, fenced area that we have. I have reconfigured the back area of our property, which we've previously kept them out of. I've let them go out here on occasion. We used to have a wire that ran all along the back end of the property for their collar. I have since gone and kind of fixed that fence line there. You can see, since we have a physical fence there, an existing fence, I've sort of corrected that. It's not pretty, but it's enough to provide now a physical barrier, along with now the collar fence that have run along that as well. So the idea behind that is, and I've retrained them with the collar, so now they know their boundaries, and they've of course tested it. But the idea behind that is, there's not only that mental barrier of them hearing the beep and knowing that collar, that discomfort is there, but now they have to overcome the physical barrier, which is the fence. And that has, so far over the past week, we've since using that system, has kept them in there. And I say that because they could clearly, if they wanted to, clear that fence. It's a welded wire fence. It's actually not even that stable. I just pulled it up and kind of re-stretched it and tightened it a bit. But they could clearly jump that fence if they wanted to. There's hot wire fence just right along here that they could clearly go under. They've tested that hot wire in the past. I know they know what that feels like. And so they have not even gone out past this area, even though they could crawl under it or jump it if they wanted to. But once again, there's a physical barrier, having that hot wire there along with their dog fence, their e-collar line running along there. So in short, they've been staying back here for the past week. Coyotes are still present, and it has so far worked. Now to step up our game, one of the common suggestions we had in helping encourage these guys to stick around was to get livestock. Well, if you watched my previous videos, I did mention that we were going to be getting some pigs, and that was part of the plan, still is in the plans. But in talking with our neighbor who runs cattle, his suggestion actually was to get some bottle calves. So instead of getting pigs, so we just did something that was not a last minute decision, but we just did something.
Hello.
bad sign.
What do you mean it's a bad sign? What's a bad sign? No!
Did you already take down the...
Oh my God!
Oh, Bernard.
We've welcomed 2 new additions to the family here. This is Midnight, and that is Nebula. They are both we were told about 2 weeks old, maybe a little over 2 weeks. We can have 2 weeks old is what we were told. We've been bottle feeding them for several days now, and for the most part they've been doing well. Midnight's been doing well. Nebula, they've both been feeding well, but Nebula is now showing some signs of early stages of scour, which I'm learning a lot about, which is essentially just that diarrhea that seems to be pretty common. So today I'm going to have to start treating Nebula, the one in the back there, for scours. They're still feeding really well, still both active, still seem healthy, but I want to be preventative because she did show signs of scours. But anyhow, more video on that later, but I just wanted to do a quick video update on the dogs because I've been a little behind on what they've been up to since the video of them almost getting hit by a car. If you haven't seen it, you can check my video page and find that video, but this is now where they're being contained. Bernard, Betty, they have been behaved. I do now have them penned up just in this area for the majority of the time with Nebula and Midnight, and the idea behind that is to get them acquainted with their new buddies, and so now hopefully they know that their job is to protect our 2 baby calves there. So they're gonna go quick, only a matter of time before they're bigger than Betty and Bernard. And truth be told, I don't really think they need the protection, but I think the whole idea of now giving Betty and Bernard actual livestock to protect hopefully does the trick in keeping them, or helping them feel like they need to stick around. Since they've been penned up back here, I have not allowed them to run around loosely at other areas of our property, just because I want them to really stay around the calves to get really acquainted with them. So I'll probably do that for another week or so, and at that point I will then let Betty and Bernard back out around our property and hope that they've learned they need to stick close by to the calves. Anyhow, that's it. Just wanted to speak real quickly. I'll once again do more of an update later. I'll cover more of the fencing situation that I did, because I think hopefully that fixes the fencing problem. And then I'll certainly do a video, obviously, on our new addition to the family. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and commenting below. If you have any suggestions on scours, on helping with that, please comment. I currently have some Resorb. I'm going to give that a try. I was told that should work. We are feeding them some Purina Land O'Lakes calf milk replacer twice a day, every 12 hours. So yeah, any suggestions on keeping these calves healthy and strong, comment and let us know. Thanks again for watching.